Apple's latest Mac Studio with the M3 Ultra chip has achieved something groundbreaking, running a massive AI model with 671 billion parameters entirely in memory. How did Apple pull this off, and what does it mean for the future of computing? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to the Apple Daily News. This podcast is created by Generative AI. Today is March 23rd, 2025, and we've got a packed episode covering everything from Apple TV Plus losses to user frustrations with iOS updates. Let's kick things off with Apple TV Plus, which is reportedly losing over $1 billion annually. According to a report from The Information, the streaming service has grown to 45 million subscribers, but remains unprofitable due to its massive $5 billion yearly content budget. In 2024, Apple cut content spending by $500 million under pressure from CEO Tim Cook, who has voiced concerns about the performance of high-budget projects like the $200 million film Argylle, which failed to attract a significant audience. Despite these efforts, Apple TV Plus accounts for less than 1% of US streaming viewership, far behind competitors like Netflix and Amazon. Interestingly, Apple had anticipated losses of up to $20 billion in the first decade of the service, a stark contrast to its usual fiscal discipline. Other Apple services, like Apple Music and Apple Arcade, are also facing challenges with stagnant growth and limited user bases. While Apple's services segment overall remains profitable, generating $96 billion in revenue, the underperformance of individual services raises questions about their long-term viability. Next, let's talk about the controversy surrounding Apple's iOS 18.3.2 update. Users are frustrated because the update automatically re-enables the Apple Intelligence feature, even for those who had previously turned it off. After updating, users are greeted with a splash screen that only allows them to activate the feature, which can consume up to 7 gigabytes of storage. This has sparked concerns about user control and transparency, especially since the issue was also present in the previous update, 18.3.1. Apple has yet to address these complaints, leaving users to manually disable the feature again. The problem isn't limited to iPhones. iPadOS and macOS users are also affected. This situation has reignited debates about user autonomy and privacy in the tech world. Speaking of iOS 18.3.2, it seems the update has introduced another issue, this time with iCloud Mail. Users are reporting that new emails are not being pushed to their devices automatically, requiring manual refreshes to retrieve them. The issue appears to be widespread and specific to iCloud Mail, as push notifications for other email providers like Microsoft 365 are functioning normally. Despite troubleshooting efforts, including device restarts and notification toggles, no effective solutions have been found. Some users have even reverted to earlier iOS versions to temporarily fix the problem. Apple has not yet announced a timeline for a resolution, leaving many users frustrated. Moving on to the automotive world, General Motors has stopped a dealership from installing third-party Apple CarPlay retrofit kits in its electric vehicles. GM cited safety concerns, stating that these aftermarket kits could interfere with critical vehicle functions and potentially void warranties. This decision follows GM's earlier move to remove Apple CarPlay and Android Auto from its EVs, a choice that faced backlash from customers. The retrofit kits, developed by White Automotive and Media Services, allowed users to restore these features, but were only available at a single dealership in Michigan. With GM's directive, the kits are no longer available, leaving existing users uncertain about their functionality. GM has not clarified whether it will disable already installed kits, adding to the confusion. Now let's talk about Apple's new M4 Max Mac Studio, which is being hailed as a game-changer for photographers. Priced at $3,500, it offers a significant performance boost over its predecessor, the M3 Ultra, particularly in photo editing tasks. In applications like Lightroom and Photoshop, the M4 Max outshines even the more expensive M2 Ultra, making it a cost-effective choice for creative professionals. It also performs well in video editing software like Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve. The M4 Max's balance of performance and affordability makes it an ideal option for photographers and video editors who don't need the extreme power of the Ultra chips. In other news, Apple has updated its iCloud terms of service to make them more user-friendly. The original text, described as spaghetti text, has been restructured into a more modular macaroni text format. The new terms clarify Apple's rights to modify agreements and impose new conditions, with a commitment to provide 30 days' notice for significant changes. For paid services like iCloud Plus, adverse changes won't take effect until the end of the current paid term, unless required by legal or security concerns. The update aims to improve transparency and user understanding, a welcome change for many. Finally, let's revisit the groundbreaking achievement of Apple's M3 Ultra Max Studio. This machine has managed to run the DeepSeek R1 AI model, featuring 671 billion parameters entirely in memory. Thanks to its 512 gigabytes of unified memory, the Max Studio eliminates the need for traditional multi-GPU setups, which are often expensive and power-hungry. A test by YouTube reviewer Dave2D showed that even with a 4-bit quantized version of the model, the M3 Ultra maintained full performance while consuming less than 200 watts of power. This efficiency sets a new standard for handling AI workloads, highlighting Apple's commitment to integrating advanced technology with energy efficiency. That wraps up today's episode of the Apple Daily News. From Apple TV Plus struggles to the impressive capabilities of the M3 Ultra Max Studio, it's clear that Apple continues to face both challenges and opportunities. As always, links to all the stories we covered can be found in the episode notes. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.